Does Apple or Epic Games understand what they're doing in this Fortnite fight? Because the fight has gotten a lot bigger than just Fortnite. Apple is now threatening to pull all the developer tools for their Unreal Engine, which powers a lot of games that are on Apple's platform. So Epic started in with Apple. Apple is taking it to another level. It's an interesting story. We'll get into it. If you want to go ahead and support my work, subscribe to the channel. It's a huge help to me. Click the bell for notifications. Also, you can get a copy of College of the Dead at collegeofthedead.com. It's an ongoing zombie apocalypse series, and it ships immediately. The Mermaids is coming out soon. Get to epicmermaids.com. The link's in the description. And this way you'll be able to see when The Mermaids is coming out. It's a full-color ongoing series. It's like Game of Thrones with mermaids. Really well done. All right, back to the story. Good God, what are they doing? Does Apple or Epic Games understand what they're doing in this Fortnite fight? Okay, so yesterday, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla battle of Epic Games versus Apple took a seemingly unexpected turn. Originally, it seemed like Epic had a great plan. They introduced a sneaky update to Fortnite to get around Apple's 30% cut of revenue. What cut of revenue? Apple takes 30% of all money that passes through any video game, any application, anything on their Apple store and in their Apple device. Apple was supposed to have banned Fortnite when Fortnite put their little workaround update, because they put in a workaround so that Epic could directly get revenues and make it less expensive for customers to buy things through their game. So they thought Apple would just ban them from the App Store. Epic could then just file a lawsuit and try to prove how anti-competitive Apple is. And all of that seemed to work. But yesterday, because Epic did sue Apple and Epic did sue Google Play, which charges the same thing. Google Play charges 30% as well to run the app and to make their money. And that's what Apple charges. It's high, but what else are they supposed to do? So now yesterday, Epic reported that Apple is threatening to go well beyond the Fortnite ban and essentially restrict Epic from doing anything in iOS or on Mac by taking away necessary developer accounts and tools. And on the chopping block is the ability to support the Unreal Engine, which doesn't just power Fortnite, but scores of games and apps all over iOS and Macs. So that's interesting, because that means that, look, if you're not a publisher in good standing, then Apple is not going to allow you to access their platform, and they're not going to give you developer tools to customize your applications for their platform and to integrate with their platform if they don't feel like you're a trusted partner. I mean, they're in their right to do it. It seems like to me. So this is from this guy Rod Brislow's tweet. So Apple has informed Epic Games that it will terminate all their developer accounts and cut Epic off from iOS and Mac development tools on August 18th. That's only 10 days from today. According to a new statement, Epic has filed a court order to stop this. Well, they filed a complaint with the court, requesting a court order. They're requesting an injunction is what that means. Apple's actions will... Of course they will. Apple's actions will irreparably damage Epic's reputation among Fortnite users and be catastrophic for the future of the separate Unreal Engine business, Epic said in a statement. Well, yes, it will completely destroy your business. The general impression this latest turn is giving off is that neither of these companies really understand what they're getting into, per the author. Even if Epic anticipated the Fortnite ban and were ready with a cute parody video with a 60-page injunction, which they were, they do not seem to have anticipated Apple coming after the Unreal Engine itself. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you poke the bear, they're going to come after you. And this is why, Epic has damaged the relationship that they have with Apple. And they've also undermined the Unreal Engine. So now when developers invest millions in modifying and working with the Unreal Engine and marketing their games and, everything they're doing, they realize that they're doing business with someone who is not a trusted partner of Apple. So it's going to make them less likely to want to make resources take resources and invest them in developing the Unreal Engine, which is, I'm sure, a huge business for Epic Games as well. While Epic is willing to sacrifice Fortnite on mobile for this cause, it does not seem like they would want to risk the Unreal Engine as a whole, and they have filed an emergency request with a court to try and stop this action by Apple. I mean, how are you going to stop the action? They're going to tell Apple, no, you must continue to allow us to have the Unreal Engine and provide support for the Unreal Engine. That's their leverage. That's part of their leverage. I'm sure they have more leverage than just that. I think from the start that Epic has put a whole lot of faith in the courts and the judicial legislative system to rein in Apple here. While yes, Apple has been the subject of antitrust scrutiny, this seems like an extremely long fight in the making, which will result in potentially hundreds of millions in lost revenue, not just for Epic, but possibly now for Epic's Unreal Engine, using partners as well, which could harm a ton of their active relationship if Unreal is suddenly rendered unusable on iOS and Mac if it can't be fixed and updated going forward because of these new restrictions. You know, the thing is, with Apple, like, they're going to give you that 30% fee. But if they consider you to be an unreliable partner and you still want access to the platform, they'd be everywhere within their right to say, well, look, if you want continued access to the platform while this dispute is settled, we're taking a risk in doing business with you. They could potentially get Apple to offer less fees than 30% across their entire platform. So if they're not a trusted partner, why wouldn't they just ask for 50% of the revenue instead of only 30%? I would be I would be very tough if I were them, and I'm sure they will be. But then there's how this looks from Apple's side, which might be even worse somehow. Apple is fighting back against charges of being anti-competitive by not just targeting Epic, but an entire class of games and apps using Epic's Unreal Engine, and their response to all of this read like some sort of a hostage negotiation. Quote, "We very much want to keep the company as part of the Apple Developer Program and their apps on the store," the statement to the Washington Post said. "The problem Epic has created for itself is one that can be easily remedied. If they submit an update of their app that reverts it to comply with the guidelines they agreed to and which apply to all developers. We won't make an exception for Epic because we don't think it's right to put their business interests ahead of the guidelines that protect our consumers." Yeah, right. So Epic is trying to completely change their deal with Apple and completely change everyone's deal with Apple. They're doing it incredibly publicly. They're doing it in such a way that it now is affecting other game publishers who use their engine, which there's a lawsuit right there against Epic from whoever's licensing their engine. I mean, Apple can live without Epic Games. Can Epic Games live without Apple and their engine being allowed on Apple's platform? I mean, why would they allow the engine on there if this engine is going to link potentially to programs and games and publishers that don't agree with Apple's terms and service, or agree with it for now but not long term? Apple can be as selective as they want to be in deciding who they want to let onto their platform to integrate with their consumer base, because it's really Apple's customers, because they're coming through Apple's service. It's 30% is a high fee, but then that's what Google charges as well. So what do you? I don't know what Epic thinks they're going to accomplish with this, unless Apple looks like a real bad company right now, and for some reason they think that it's good PR to just make a deal with them or reduce. What are they supposed to do? Take their fee down to 20% and cut out a third of their revenue? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below what you think. If it was me, I would crush Epic Games to the extent that I could without it being too obvious that it's antitrust or something. Apple is demonstrating how absurd their level of power is in the mobile ecosystem, proving Epic's point beyond what the Fortnite ban itself could ever do. Whether courts or legislators actually recognize this and rebuke them for it is where the gamble comes in. but either Apple is too tone deaf to understand how this move looks, or they believe themselves to be so omnipotent they simply don't care. The sense I'm getting from this fight is that Epic may be in over its head. It is. I absolutely don't think what Apple is doing is right, and the 30% cut from iOS revenue is indeed a garbage practice that needs to be addressed. But Epic isn't just fighting them, they're also fighting Google. They're also doing battle with Steam on a different front, and then with the Epic Store. And we haven't even gotten to the closed Xbox and PlayStation ecosystems that also take the same 30% cut. So 30% is a standard, and they're doing all this aggressive stuff against Apple. What the hell are they thinking? Epic's quest is daunting, and while they seem caught off guard by how far Apple's willing to go to crush dissent. Yeah, they seem caught off guard. It remains to be seen if Apple's flagrant flex of power will help Epic's case enough to get something done, which I'm not optimistic about. It's not going to help. It's not going to help because Apple's using all of its leverage. Epic is using all of its leverage. And Apple has how many relationships with publishers on their platform? How many relationships are affected by this? If they make it less money for Epic and they teach Epic to blow up on the platform, this is the other thing Epic is doing. Epic's war against Apple's being fought by fans. So Epic is pushing out into social media this hashtag free Fortnite. And, they're a $17 billion company, Epic is, that are financed by the Chinese. 40% of it's owned by mega corporation Tencent. If you're not familiar with what Tencent is, it's a massive, massive, massive Chinese company. So really, it's almost a battle with a Chinese company. What Epic is posturing as a crusade happens to also be a convenient avenue for Tencent to punch back at a similarly sized U.S. Tech company in retaliation for the executive order banning WeChat. This isn't some sort of liberation, it's corporate warfare. Yeah, this is corporate warfare using the fans and players as pawns. It really is. It's a strange thing. I've never seen it before. We always see like the science fiction and science fantasy stuff where corporations are going to be warring each other and things like that. And if they had robots to fight each other, I'm sure they would. So far, they'll just use fans to fight with each other. I think Apple wins this. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Huge help to me. Click the bell for notifications. Also, again, if you want to support my work, collegeofthedead.com. Get a copy of College of the Dead Graduation Day, the ongoing Zombie Apocalypse series, and it ships right away. The books are completely done. Also, sign up at epicmermaids.com to get an email for when The Mermaids is going to be launched. It's coming out soon on Indiegogo. All right, I'll see you again soon with another video, and if I don't see you, I will miss you.